Guys, how are you all doing? It's a girl CC and I'm back again today with another interesting video. I trust you guys are having fun. I trust you guys are enjoying your time, enjoying yourselves today. Thank you guys so much for always coming back, to watch my videos, liking, commenting, sharing, which makes the algorithm to push out these videos to the people that needed to see these videos and they are commenting. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. So I just want us to quickly see this video today and talk about it. Now, this man right here unpacked a lot of things in this video, which we are going to see. Now, as you can see, he captioned his video Chronicles of a Clueless Husband. Now, like I said, he unpacked a lot of things. Now, this man proceed to talk about his relationship or his marriage. Now, he said that he thought he was the main character in that relationship. And of course, he shared a story which we are going to hear from him. Like, this video is fully packed. I thought they should go out there for a lot of people to see it because literally this is what is happening in so many relationships. I mean, please stay with me. Stay with me, guys. I have put together a few stitches, and of course, people had to put in one or two, their contributions or their opinions. This video right here is a must watch. Please check it out.
One of the things I really try to process now as a middle-aged man is the full extent to which I really thought that I was the main character. I'll just give you an example. Early in our marriage, my partner and I say we'd be going on a trip. My partner, at that point in time, would be doing the laundry, vacuuming the house, making sure the dishes were done. And I would literally think like, well, yeah, but you don't have to do that. Like that's you wanting to do that. It's not what I want to do. She would get everything ready, and eventually I would say, oh, now it's time to get ready. And I would go, and this is not a joke. This literally happened on more than one occasion. I would get like a backpack or a suitcase or something, and I would get my own clothes. And then I would get like 2 or 3 books that I wanted to read. And I would literally bring highlighters because I'm a nerd. And I think, I'm ready. I'm ready to go on the trip. Looking back, like, what? How could I possibly think that was okay? And the thing is, when we had kids, it didn't stop, right? My partner would do all the work to get all of them ready and make sure they were bathed, snacks packed, and I would get myself ready. And I think, oh, I saw my own father do this quite a bit, where he would take care of his own needs. So I know I didn't learn it from nowhere, but I also had to unlearn it because it never was okay. I thought that my role was to do all these things outside of the home and that the home was, woman's domain. I saw that modeled and even taught as the way it should be, but oh my gosh, is that not partnership? And that sucks. So if you are a person, especially if you're a man and you think that division of labor is okay, like you shouldn't be married. Like you shouldn't be in a relationship. And I shouldn't have been at that point in time. And that would have made me so very mad. Because I was like, what more do you want from me? Turns out, quite a lot.
Okay, let's just talk about this. Now, he said at some point in that video that he saw his father doing that. Now, I just want to ask, is it a traditional thing for men to just, step aside and watch their wives or their partner do all of those things? The whole thing that he listed in that video, because he said that he would just literally pack his own stuff and then step aside, watch his partner do everything. And it was even much more when they started having kids. Now, if you are, going on a vacation with your husband or your partner and you've got kids, as a woman, you've thought about, you will think about the comfortability of your kids, the things you're going to pack and stuff like that. And according to the man, he would just step aside and watch his women, do all of those things. Which I asked, is it a traditional thing? Because he said he didn't learn it from anywhere apart from his dad, because he saw his dad doing that. Now, this is to say that as parents, mom, dad, whatever you're doing, your kids are watching. They are watching you. You are their role model. They are watching you. Now, he learned that from his dad and he felt, okay, it's okay for him to step aside and then watch his woman do that. Now, the thing is this. Both of you are partners, and partners are supposed to work together. He packed his stuff. Probably he thought, okay, it is given for me. It is given. It's none of my business. It's not my thing. You are the woman, so you get on with it. But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Anyways, people, stitch his video. Let's just, get some, opinions from these people because they said a lot. I have put together just few stitches. Let's just hear from them. And of course, I'm going to show you guys his comment section. People, asked questions which he responded to them, literally making videos, responding to their comments. Let's check the stitches out first.
Man, and you think that division of labor is okay? Like you shouldn't be married.
Whew, I'm going to probably get myself in trouble, but for you guys, it's worth it. Let's talk about it. Full disclosure, I have been married to my wife for 15 years. We've been together for over 20. So again, I think I know what I'm talking about. So go back and watch the original Stitch video. This guy says a bunch of stuff, mainly saying that, men are trash. They need to step it up. We need to change our thinking. And a lot of that stuff is true, but I do think that he is not being 100% genuine with his argument. Because again, it was very female lending. And I don't like that. So again, as a person that's been married for, 15 years, usually in marriages, issues are 50-50 and the happiness is 50-50. Sometimes the man is just dog water. But again, it's just like, if he's been dog water for the majority of the relationship, then you probably known that before you got married and you probably should have picked better. Just saying. And what I mean by that is that men don't change overnight. We're very transparent individuals for the most part. So like if your husband doesn't like to clean, doesn't like to help around the house, is, things of that nature, then those are things that you would have seen when you were dating him. It's not like men typically flip and change when they get married and be like, ha, gotcha. I'm not going to do any of these things anymore. That's kind of in the reverse when women do that, where they start doing things up front. They start cooking, they start cleaning, they start putting out every day. And then once you get married, all of it stops, right? But usually with men, it's the exact opposite. But again, I digress. So in our household, we go by the rule of discussion of duties, right? And what I mean by that is that in a relationship, the way it should be is that the two partners that are together should have very clear and open communication about their likes, dislikes, wants, and needs, right? For instance, in our household, again, nothing is singular. Everything is different depending on where you live or who you're with. In my household, my wife hates cooking. My wife hates doing dishes. So therefore I do it. Vice versa, I don't particularly like washing clothes. I don't particularly like vacuuming. So my wife does that. What is wrong with discussing duties and being assigned duties based off of your preference? Like, you see how if you go back to the part where he stitched it, where he's like, if you're okay with this, then you shouldn't be married. No. If you cannot communicate with your wife, then you should not be married. That is what it should be said. Let's talk about this other thing real quick. So the big thing about women that I've realized over the term is that women want to be appreciated, right? So my wife used to complain about all the time, oh, I'm washing clothes. I'm the one that's packing for vacations and da 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 da. So one day I decided to be proactive and, pack the clothes. Clothes are already laid out. Girls already picked out what she wanted. I just packed the suitcases. Big mistake, because what happened was she came up right behind me, unpacked everything, and then repackaged it the way she wanted it. Can't win.
Partner would do all the work to get all of them ready and make sure they were bathed, snacks packed.
I'm really glad that this guy that I stitched is self-aware. If my husband was more self-aware, we wouldn't be separated and going through divorce now. And the reason is, if you watch the stitch, which you kind of had to get here, my husband moved through life like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and you will adjust to the changes. And in the beginning, when we first got together, he has 4 kids, and 3 of them were with their mother. And at some point, some stuff happened, and she couldn't have them anymore. And so he asked me, do you mind if we take them in? I'll make sure to set everything up as far as the living arrangements. So they're with each other in a certain part of the house because they're used to being together. And your own son, who's used to being a solo child, still has his own space. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. But what I did not ask and what I didn't think to ask is, so how are you going to contribute to taking care of what is now 5 kids when I've only had 1? I didn't ask that. Now, some people might say, maybe you should have asked it. Yes, maybe I should have. Like, really, maybe I should have. But also, I just don't understand how he thought he could just keep working the way he was working, living the way he was living, coming home, acting the way he was coming home, and expect everything to be the same when I have gone from taking care of 1 child who is a teenager and self-sufficient to 4 children, which ranged in teenagers that were self-sufficient but had some addiction issues to work through, and then 2 young children that needed a lot of attention. And that just fell on me. It just fell on me. And because I was in love, new relationship, I wanted to make it work. And so I took care of his kids. I did homework, made dinners, did all that. But yet he never changed. And I don't mean changed like as a person. I mean just changed his habits so that he could be home more to help take care of his own kids. And I don't have a lot of time left on here, but I will say we're getting a divorce now. And that's literally one of the big reasons. It's not the kids. It's how he was, because I had to take care of his kids.
Like, you shouldn't be married. Like, you shouldn't be in a relationship.
His video was all about how he thought he was the main character in his life and in his marriage, and how he basically just went about these beginning stages just living for himself, getting himself ready for a trip, never really considering his wife or later on even his children when it would come time for the family trip, and she would get herself ready and the kids packed and snacks to go, and he just worried about himself. So here's a news flash. You are not the main character. You are not the only character when you are in a relationship or in a marriage. You are both supporting actors and actresses who should equally be dividing up the labor in your household, whether that's physical, mental, domestic, childcare. When you hear women say, gosh, I want to come back as a dad in my next life, this is what they're talking about. Men's lives don't change at the same intensity as women's do after they have children. I mean, this guy states it himself. He still didn't worry about anybody else but himself when he was getting ready for the trip. And why would he? Because that's what was modeled for him. If we want our sons to grow up to be better, we have to have men in their lives who are going to model better. If they only ever see mom doing everything, they're going to have the same mindset as this man, that this is normal, that this is how it should go. The outside of the home, those tasks, the mowing the lawn, the seeding the grass, the cleaning the gutters, all, by the way, which don't happen on a daily, weekly, or even monthly basis sometimes. But those are all traditionally masculine tasks, and that's all he's in charge of. And literally everything else is on the wife. That's why I love the fair play deck of cards. There's no gender-specific tasks. There's just tasks that have to be done for everybody in your household, for your household as a whole, for the two of you in this marriage and this partnership. So you can equally break down that domestic labor. And everybody gets a nice little insight into how much of that labor there really is. And that way, nobody gets to go about living their life like they're the only character, like they're the main character of the movie. They're not, and you're not. You're supporting. You're a supporting role because it's a partnership. I mean, who would want to watch a movie where there's only one person in it? That's not how life works. That's not how marriage and relationships work. So like he said, if you have this mindset of this poorly divided labor, that all you have to do is come into this and worry about yourself, marriage and relationships are not for you.
Now, I just want to speak for myself, okay? This is me. This is how I do it in my house. My house. Hear me out. Now, I believe in working together as a team, as a partner. There's nothing wrong with that, in my own opinion. Now, If my husband says, this is what we need to do, or if he says, I would need your support in this, I wouldn't say no, because I am here in this relationship to support and help him. Like this woman said in her video, there's no gender specific tasks. If it is something that you can do just to make this relationship work, you get on with it. This is what I do. If I feel that this is what I can do to support my man, just to make sure this relationship works or is working, why not? Now, if at the end of the month, and then we look at the bills that we need to pay at the end of the month, and I'm working, there's nothing there to share the bills. Now, this is me. I am speaking for myself. But we don't really do 50-50 bills, if you get what I mean. So my husband would say, I'm gonna take up 1, 2, 3 bills, and then you do the remaining 2. That is if we have 5. Now, what I'm saying in essence that we don't do 50-50, but then I don't fold my arms and say, okay, now you take care of all the bills. Hell no. This, I'm just speaking for myself. This is what is working for me. This is what I do. I have few stitches, of course, coming. Let's just, have a look at them. And of course, I'm going to show you some comments and would also love to read from you. Let's check this video out.
The middle-aged man is the full extent to which I really thought that I was the main character.
Go back and watch that video, but basically he's like he didn't realize like all the things that his wife was doing, like for vacations and like how she was getting the house ready and laundry and packing, while meanwhile all he did was pack his stuff and that was it. A lot of women are not even arguing, or they ask for help, and if you do not help them, they are just leaving. So if you are a man and you have this type of attitude, do not wait until you get middle age to realize this, because you will be left alone, especially if you don't have any money, because the women at that point that you have access to will only want you if you have something to offer them. Women are leaving. We are not putting up with any of this anymore. Like, if you don't help, we're out. We can do it on our own.
The full extent to which I really thought that I was the main character.
And this is why women in their 30s and 40s right now have the highest divorce rate, because they are exhausted. That is the age group where they are taking care of not only themselves and working themselves outside the home, but are taking care of their children and their house and doing it all. And they don't want to do it all. And they're begging their spouses for help, and their spouses are just not getting it. And when they file for divorce, their spouses are completely blindsided, and they just go look at each other and go, I don't understand. We were happy. And the women look at him and go, happy? I've been begging you for years to help me, and you just don't care. I don't want to have to remind you to take the garbage out. I don't want to have to remind you that our kids have a school trip next week. I don't want to have to remind you that you have no underwear. Why am I doing your stuff? It's like raising another child. And unfortunately, the women would rather be single, a single mom. If they're going to do it all, do it single, than be a single married spouse.
Be doing the laundry, vacuuming the house.
Okay, he goes on to explain how, he thought he was the main character, and so his wife would do all this work and he wouldn't help out, and that he got better later on in the relationship, right? I don't know about everybody else. I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for me. And the kicker, for me at least, is I am completely fine doing all the work. But you better be my cheerleader. Like, I better hear how gorgeous I look and how amazing I am the entire time I am busting my rear end to get something done for you. If you can do that for me, then I promise I can do everything. I can do anything. But if I don't feel like I'm loved while I do it, then I don't want to do it.
So in his comment section, someone left this comment right here. It says, I'm going to need you to tell me what made you come to this realization, asking for a friend. Now, I told you that even in the comment, he was responding to some people making video, responding to their comments, basically. And this is one of the comments he responded to, which I would want you guys to see. Please check it out.
We probably get hundreds of versions of this question, and to be honest, it's so hard to answer because there are probably hundreds of answers. But today I will try to give you a piece of the story. In fact, I'll give you two bookend conversations that were really pivotal in moving things along for me to help understand where my partner was and what I might have to do to change. The first one was about 7 years ago, and I was talking to my partner in the kitchen, and she just kind of casually mentioned that, oh, when the kids grow up and move out, we'll get divorced. Whoa, what? Back up the tape. What did you say? When we get what? And it was the first time that she'd actually verbalized the natural consequence of what was going to happen if my behavior continued. Now, I didn't even know I had behavior at that point in time. I was that obtuse that I wasn't paying close enough attention to see that the ways in which she was kind of shutting down were a direct result of me blowing out her candle. And of course, I was like stunned. At that point in time, I was so afraid of divorce based on the religious world it came from that even talking about it scared me. I kind of felt like it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Turns out, no, it's actually the other way around. Not talking about it is actually what puts you on the path that way. Fast forward to last year, my partner and I were really struggling, and we hit this point in time where it's like, this is just not working. But for my partner, that was a relief, and for me, that was devastating. So we had to kind of figure out, wait a minute, I have been using my partner as my touch tree. You are fulfilling all of my emotional needs, and every time I'm upset, I come to you, and that is too much. My partner kind of figured out that she was pouring all of this love and emotion and tension into a black hole, and it was never going to come back out unless I did the work to start addressing why I was a black hole in the first place. One of the things she told me was, I can no longer be your wife and your therapist and your only friend. You're going to have to pick one.
So I took some screenshots of comments from his comment section so you guys can see what other people said about that video. Like, the video went viral anyways, and of course people, had to duet the video, commented and stuff like that. But beside me are some of these comments. Please pause to read if you want to. Okay, let's just talk about this while you read the comment. Now, this man talked about how he felt he was the main character in the relationship. He gave an example. The time they were going for vacation, he literally packed his stuffs, and then his wife or his partner packed everything. It shouldn't be. But this is what is happening. Now, he mentioned that he saw his father doing that. Now, this is where we parents, this is where we come in. We need to teach our sons, teach them to help out and not sit down, fold their arms, and then watch their sisters do everything. Because at the end of the day, they are going to get married, and then they need to support their wives. If they don't, it becomes a problem. Again, like I said, I don't know if it is a traditional thing, but well, some men do help out. Okay, some men do help out, but I think we just need to look at ourselves and then fix it. Fix it. We are partnering. We are partners. So we need to support one another. Don't just leave this whole thing for one person to do. If you can do it, you do it. When it's time to take out the trash, baby, take out the trash. Don't wait for your husband to come home and do it. Don't wait for your wife to come home and do it. You guys are adults, two adults living in a house. I mean, the bin, of course, you put your trash in there. So it's not meant for one person to do it. If it's filled up and you're at home, why don't you do it? It is just these little things that is affecting relationships. I mean, which shouldn't be. If you are living in the house with your partner, you should help out. I don't know, but this is me. This is how it works for me. Sometimes I would come back from work and everything is literally done. I didn't ask, like I didn't beg for it to be done. I just came in and everything is done. Anyways, I saw this video. I thought I should be in this video here. Let's just, what do you guys think about this thing? Because it didn't sit well with some people, obviously. And of course, some people are against the video, some people are not. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. And thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share, and of course, come back for another interesting video. I'm gonna see y'all in my next one. Y'all take care. Bye.